we were running out of space on that last video. But let's get into the Game Boy Advance Sp and such. Now, the Game Boy Advance Sp was essentially a way of rectifying the fact that outside of using a worm light or a cobra light, you couldn't really see this screen. It's a nice screen, but you couldn't really see it, and that was really a problem with games like Castlevania. I think, let's see, Castlevania Circle of the Moon it was pretty hard to see on that one. It was a great game, but it was kind of really hard to see. So they put out the SP, which had, of course, that awesome 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 front light. The lights were along the side here, and it used kind of the same technology that was used in, say, the Cobra light or the worm light, where the Cobra light actually used it had a light that shined onto a little mirror that shined onto another mirror here, so it was reflected, so it didn't have a bright spot on the screen like the worm light had. But yeah, this kind of killed that particular market. Interesting things about this is the first Game Boy device with a rechargeable battery pack. It's actually user replaceable, which is something that is a really good idea. All of these are user replaceable. One of the big problems I have with the Go is that, unlike its previous PSP, where you could get a larger battery for it, you can't replace the battery on the Go. That's something they should fix in the next hardware iteration of that. A portable system without a user replaceable battery is really anti-consumer. But yeah, it had a rechargeable battery, and of course this neat little light there. One thing people would talk about the hand cramps or so, and the really I really didn't like the proprietary speaker plug. Yeah, this was the this is what you plugged it into Link with, and also you could use that for stereo speakers. Sorry, for stereo headphones. And of course this was for charging it. And they reused that same style of a charger on the DS, which is kind of neat. Then the DSi and the DS Lite and the DSi have their own proprietary ones, and the Micro has its own proprietary one as well. Craziness. But yeah, those are those. And the Game Boy Player. You could hook it up via a you could hook this up via the to the GameCube, but it hooked onto the bottom part, and it's screwed in, and it allows you to play Game Boy games on the big screen with a bit of a border around them, and it was compatible with Game Boy Advance games, which was kind of nice. It's not a bad system. It was pretty good. It has a little disc that comes with it that you pop into the GameCube to let it recognize the Game Boy Player and play the games. There are also some third-party ones for the N64 and for the I should have taken that out, but I had the Game Boy Color pack for the Nintendo 64, and that one allows you to go ahead and pop your old Pokemon games into your N64 controller and play Pokemon Stadium. There was also something that came out for the N64, and one that allowed you to play Game Boy Color games on it. That was a third-party accessory, not licensed by Nintendo. Then there was another device that they put out to try and match some of what the Game Boy Player did, that allowed you to use the memory stick. Sorry, the memory card slot on your GameCube. Those don't actually work very well with the Nintendo Wii. There's something in there that's preventing them. I'm not completely sure what, but a lot of those you could use. It's best to go with the official one. It had the most options and most compatibility, although it wasn't compatible with Game Boy Advance videos. Now the things with Game Boy Advance videos is that what they do when it's performing its checksum, when you turn it on, it's looking for the connection via the external drive for the GameCube, which allows it to decide, no, you can't play this in here. I don't know why you would want to, because the Game Boy the Game Boy Advance video things were kind of terrible looking. Very, very, very compressed. You wouldn't want to watch that on a larger screen. And although they did have VCR type options, the big thing with them is like you can play all your all your movies in color. They were kind of targeting some little device that that another company put out. Oh, ActImagine. They were the people behind some of these. But yeah, you had like controls and creds and stuff, and you could change your brightness up, down. Turn the brightness down actually, so you can kind of see it. You could go forward a little bit. Let's see, there's this. This locks it. Okay, and we can also skip ahead of chapters or two by holding it. Oh, this part's great. I'll go forward a little bit.
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. You're a monster. I'm not the monster here. You are. You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others? I've tried to be fair to you creatures. Now my patience has reached its end. Tell me, or I'll round up the buttons. I'm a gumdrop button.
That still cracks me up for some reason. And I'm not really a big DreamWorks fan. But yeah. Let's look Game Boy.
The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane? Well, she's married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! She's married to the Muffin Man. My lord, we found it. Well, then what are you waiting for? Bring it in.
Stuff like this. Actually, for some reason, this was coming out looking a lot sharper than it really is, which is kind of funny.
Maybe there's a good reason Donkey shouldn't talk.
But yeah, that's Shrek on that. Some of these things are. Well, let's see what happens when we put in a Nintendo DS option pack into a Game Boy Advance Sp. Dun dun dun. It doesn't recognize it as anything. Oh well. But one really cool thing about like Game Boy Advance games, Game Boy Color games and such in particular, is that depending on what direction you're holding or what button you're holding, when you turn it on, you can actually change the color that it looks. If you wanted to do left and right, so yeah, we can do like that one's an inverted color scheme, which is kind of neat. There's a inverted color scheme, Contra, the Alien Wars. And it was awesome. Yeah, spread gun. Yeah. Anyways, those are those. Pretty neat. Game Boy Color stuff is also kind of neat. We're going to pop this in here and take a look at the awesome Game Boy Colorness. Oh, on Game Boy and the Game Boy Color games, you can expand the, you can stretch the picture to widescreen or play it in full screen. Ooh. There's Zelda. Now we're in the Windfish's. It's pretty neat. I think they did a pretty good job with making it color. Maybe someday they'll port this over to DSiWare or something, and I will be happy. I will happily play this game for the millionth time again. But yeah, let's go on to DS stuff next. This seems like a logical leap.